Hello everyone, I'm Sheldon Brown. I'm representing Logion, the first proof of law blockchain where we are bringing the law into digital transactions. You could go to the next page, Richard. Yes, thank you. To introduce the proof of law, it's the legal and economic zero knowledge or certification for the digital economy. What does that mean exactly? That means that real-world identities in companies can become decentralized credentials. Real-world assets, whether it's digital, physical, or even financial, can become legal-grade digital assets. And as well, real-world information and data from contracts, audits, expert reports, etc., can all become certified digital information. Everything certified by Logion's proof of law has legal value. Richard, next slide. So Logion is a multi-asset chain and jurisdiction solution. Projects can create tokens bound to any kind of underlying token asset on any blockchain in any jurisdiction. To explain, with Logion, art can become tokenized art, or real estate can become royalty-sharing NFTs or fractionalized ownership. You have multiple possibilities with Logion, and it doesn't matter if you're using Solana, Ethereum, POLKADOT, or Tezos. Our system is chain agnostic, which means that whatever blockchain you're using to tokenize your assets, you're able to certify with Logion as well. The proof of law enables a new form of legally binding tokens for real-world assets. To explain the proof of law, here are the four foundations of the proof of law. The way I explain it is that it's half tech, half human. On the human aspect, we have the decentralized network of judicial officers, who are the operators of our blockchain and also the operators of our IPFS network. And also on the human side, we have our network of verified issuers. This can include lawyers, accountants, experts, notaries, any other regulated professional. As verified issuers, they are acting as real-world oracles, bringing data from the real world, like documents and data, over to the blockchain. On the tech side, we have our blockchain, of course, and we have also our private and encrypted IPFS network, which allows us to protect and encrypt in a decentralized way any documents or data. And it also allows for token-gated access of any documents and data that you wish. And as well, we have our zero-knowledge proof system of evidence record, which allows anybody to record records with Logion without revealing the contents of such records. Logion binds properties, rights, and obligations to any blockchain-based digital transaction. Next slide, please. So I'm going to do a small demo, and I took screenshots of the platform to give you an example. In this demo, we are going to create certificates with token-gated access for real estate documents and data. You can go to the next slide. So as the first step, you would first need to do a KYC with the judicial officer. And during this KYC, you will as well choose at this moment which judicial officer you wish to work with. Next slide. Next slide, actually. It's not actually not. It's good. So once the LLO has validated the identity, the tokenizers are now able to create a legal officer case, a lock. It's the similar, let's call it a security master file, where you're going to be putting all of your documents and data into this master security file, this lock. So in this example, I have created real estate tokenization demo as my description, and I will create my working environment. Next slide. Once my lock has been created and validated by the judicial officer and accepted under his responsibility, verified issuers or the tokenizer himself can now contribute the documents and data to the lock. They could easily access the platform, they click on the button contribute, and they'll be able to upload any documents and data that they wish into the system. Next slide, please. To jump forward, let's say that we have three different actors that have brought three different documents. We have a notary called Edward, who has brought the property title We have maybe an accountant called Isabel who has bringing us data around the financial statements and the accounting statements. And we also have maybe a professional in the construction industry called Mark who has brought us the construction permits on the project. So now that the lock, this master security file, is completed with all of the documents and data that we want, we are now able to publish onto the blockchain and create certificates if we wish. But there's one last step. The judicial officer has to validate and review all of the documents and data that has been provided into this lock. So the judicial officer will come, he'll see that there's a property title, he'll download it, he'll verify that it's correct and that it hasn't been modified. He'll also check the accounting statements, and he'll also check out the construction permits. Once all of this has been acknowledged and validated by the judicial officer, he is now able to close the lock and accept all of these documents and data under his responsibility. Coming back to the tokenizer, if he wishes to now view his certificates which he has created around the documents, he just clicks on the button View and he'll access a page which will bring us to the information on the lock and as well where there's the certificates. So here we could see now that we have been validated by the judicial officer, there's now a public web address URL that is now available that we can now click on, and if we open up the certificate, we will see a legal officer case certificate. So on this certificate, we will find all of the information, the data around the real estate that we have tokenized. So next slide. On the bottom of the certificate, we see the creation date, we see the closing date, we see what requester, so he's anonymized, so we have his hash, but we don't have his real identity. We can also see all of the documents and data that has been provided into this master security file, into this certificate, like the property title, the accounting statements, and the construction permits, as well as the date that it was uploaded, and as well the information in the hash contains as well which identity has uploaded this information. And lastly, we also as well see that the legal officer that has taken the responsibility of all of these documents and data is listed on the certificate, and if needed, you could take contact with the judicial officer. And the last part is now that we have created a certificate with all of the documents and data, there's only one last thing to do, and it's to connect the certificates to tokens themselves. So going back to the page where I found the URL, I would see that there's an area called import items, which I would be able to import my tokens into. Next slide, please. In this example, I created 5 NFTs real quick. I attached these NFTs to the certificate. Next slide, please. And now the certificate has changed. There's now a new section called Token Gated Certificate, which allows me to connect any wallet and claim the ownership of the certificate, as well as claiming owner of the document and the data found within. Next. So I connect my wallet, I'm holding one of the NFTs I created, and the certificate will validate after checking my wallet saying, okay, you are now the owner, you have now access to the certificate, which will, next slide please, allow me to now download the documents. For example, if I wanted to see who's really the owner, if the property title is real, I'm now able to download it and check it out. Or if I wanted to check out the construction permits to see where the project is heading, to see if it's going to take value over the time or not, I'm allowed to check out the construction permits, check out the project, and download the documents if I wanted to.